Okay, we're live. Cool. I should probably post this in check the replay. Okay, we're live. I should probably post this in the Discord. Just so people can, can see it and stuff. But howdy folks. I haven't streamed on YouTube in a while. I wanted this VOD to stay up, so I decided I'll just go to YouTube directly. But yeah, so I've been reading up on this new keyboard called the Jupiter X. Sorry, called the Juno X. Jesus Christ. You'll see why I'm saying that in a second. Out this new Roland synth. Okay. All right. So, I'm a little skeptical about this, but let's watch this video. And you know what? Just to be safe, let me let me do this. Let me first kind of cut off my thing. I'm also going to reverse the video just so we don't get copyright stricken. Filters. Yeah. No properties. Okay. Fuck. 1 sec. Oh, I see what we do. Okay. All right, transform. Let's flip this horizontal. Okay. Just in case Roland tries to get litigious with me. All right.
Hi, I'm David from Roland, and this is the Juno X.
Pause. Okay. So right off the bat, there's already some things that just instantly bug me about this, and it also bugged me on the Jupiter X, but I'll just go into it here. So Roland does this thing where they want to remind you of the old keyboard, but they want it to look modern, which I kind of understand because, they don't just make a carbon copy, I guess. Even though they still want people to think this is a Juno. So they'll do this thing where they take the buttons here. On the old Juno, they were just square buttons. They were very colorful. They looked nice. I'll show you a picture here. It's like pretty standard iconography, right? Not the plugin, the real thing. Okay, like this. Here we go. Fuck it. Here's a no, let's not do that. Okay. So like this right here. Like, here we go. Nice high definition picture. Okay. So I mean, look at this thing. Like, yeah, it looked like it's straight out of 1984 because it was. But you notice how it just has this nice. You got the square buttons. You can press them in. They feel good. I used to have one, so I know. They do feel good. And, I don't know. There was a simplicity to it. There's a simplicity to all this. The body is metal, not plastic. The actual body of a Juno, 106 is metal. There are plastic parts, like the faders here are plastic, but a different kind of plastic. They feel good. Now, conversely, this thing over here, no. I mean, it just looks cheap. It really looks cheap. I know that sounds fucked up, but like, you can just kind of tell. I don't know, like the buttons are wrong. And, it's all fucked up. All right.
Now, many of
and there's no color. There's no color on this thing. It's just a gray, lifeless. You got the red, the blue, yeah, but these light up based on what function you have them doing. I don't know. At least this part is the same, for the most part. LFO, oscillator, filter, I like that they kept this format, the left to right signal flow of it all. And there's other things I like on here, you know.
Now, many of you vintage fans might recognize the design since it's heavily based.
Yeah. Many of you vintage fans might like this old thing that we don't make anymore. Now we've made a new one that isn't what you want. Yeah, cool. Thanks.
On the classic
Look at this here. It just whatever.
Juno 106 from the 80s. But this is not just about appearance. Now, the Juno X comes preloaded with a wide range of classic synths inside the synth called model expansions. So not only do you get the look and feel of those synths, but also the character of the sound.
And now those model expansions, those are plugins, right? Because I believe this is using Zencore technology. So what that means is you're loading up plugins into the synth. Now that's not new. They've done this before with the System 8 or the Phantom. You can load in model expansions. But the thing is, yeah, with the System 8, you could buy the Juno 106 module or model, whatever, put it in the System 8, and it had ACB technology, which was supposedly a lot more accurate to model analog technology. This has Zencore. So not only is this inferior to ACB, this is the same type of technology that's in the plug-in version. So it's a plug-in in a box, and not a very good one compared to what they used to have.
And feel of those synths, but also the character of the sound. Now, on top of this, it's also equipped with our newest and highly versatile Zencore sound engine, which makes it possible to exchange sounds between the Juno X and other Zencore instruments, like our Phantom series, the Jupiter series.
So exactly. So why would you buy that when you could buy this? You know, why would you buy this new one? Well, I guess for the controls, but the synth is the same.
The Xenology software plugin, and a whole bunch of other games.
Go back to Xenology. I hate Xenology. I'm sorry.
Jupiter series. The Xenology.
This is one of the worst fucking UIs I've seen on a plugin ever. It's off. It just looks awful. I'm sorry. It looks terrible. All this to say, it would be one thing if this synth cost the System 8 cost $1,500. I think. Let me double check that actually. System 8. Yeah, I want to double check that. System 8 cost. Synth cost. They might not be making it anymore. Brand new. Okay, $16.99. Wait a minute. Yeah, on Sweetwater, it's $16.99. Okay. And you can get it used for $14. I got mine used for $1,000, which is great. But the System 8 can do everything that this can do, I think, for the most part.
For a plugin and a whole bunch of other gear. So let's have a listen to how it all sounds. Now, these are just a few from the thousands of sounds included. We'll start with a nice Juno X model synth EP, and I've assigned slider 1 to control the filter. Now, the Juno X model has several new features, including velocity.
Sounds like a plugin. Sorry. You know, it sounds like you put a bunch of delay on a preset. I don't know. Here's the problem. So this plugin in a box, I'm going to keep calling it that because that's what it is, costs $2,000. $2,000 for this. I'm sorry. That's fucking bullshit. That really is. There's no reason for it to cost that much. None. Because what are you paying for? You're paying for software. That's it. Roland is a software company. It's so obvious, you know. They've been plugging Xenology and Roland Cloud and all this shit. But you're not paying for I mean, yes, there are components inside of this. There's sorry. Yes, there are components inside of this keyboard. You know, they obviously had to do some programming, engineering and stuff. But it's not nearly as complicated as having like an analog, you know, synth inside of there. Or maybe it's more complicated, but cheaper, right? Now, Dave Smith, Tom Oberheim, they've been doing this stuff now for a while where they've been making analog synths even when it wasn't popular to do so. They've been doing it, and I think they sell pretty good. I don't know for a fact, but I mean, they keep the price high, but people tend to really like them. Like the OB6, Prophet 5 reissue. Jesus, that was like $4,000. Crazy. But you understand why it's $4,000, because it's actually there's components inside of there. There's discrete filters. You know what I mean? Like there's all this shit. And this is just a fucking plug-in. I'm sorry. Like this should not be $2,000.
Staying on the Juno X model, we'll go to a nice bubbly bass.
Don't care.
The Juno X model is of course great for pad sounds too. But of course, we can also press the magic Juno Chorus button and get it even nicer.
God, I don't... Oh, this is so annoying. So annoying. I'm just... It's a bummer. Here we go. So that's the Juno X engine. How far are we? Okay. Where's the Juno 60?
Now let's move to another completely new model, which is the Juno 60. So here's a nice Juno 60 bass.
It's not new. It's not new. This is a plug. Again, I have this plugin. Sounds like shit. Sounds like shit. And not this guy's fault. I'm not saying it's shit because of him. That's not what I'm saying. He's fine. It doesn't sound interesting or warm or charming or anything. It's just lifeless. It's a zombie. That's what Roland does now. They're a zombie company where they create zombie remakes of their classic hits that don't sound quite as good and don't have really any charm to them. Just kind of lifeless. No personality. Oh, but you can put reverb on it. Who gives a fuck? Just make the Juno 106. I mean, dude, they're going to all this trouble to do that, to make this synth that no one's going to remember. No one will remember this in 2 years. And yet we still talk about the Juno 60. To this day, we still talk about the Juno 60. You know why? Because it just sounds, first of all, it sounds fucking great. Sounds amazing. And two, it wasn't trying to be 10 things at once. Because look at this. Look at this. Okay, let's go to the chapters here. We have the Juno X engine. We have the Juno 60 model. We have the 106 model. We have the XV5080. What? Why? Why the fuck would I want 90s piano sounds in my Juno? What? Then we have Zencore sounds. RD. Okay, let's hear the XV80.
That was the Juno-based models. However, as mentioned earlier, the Juno X is not just for Juno sounds. It also comes with 2 additional models, which are the XV5080 sound module.
I don't care.
And the RD piano. And even more model expansions can be added via Roland.
Pause. So the XV80 was produced in the year 2000. So we're talking about shitty 2000s EDM bullshit. Not EDM, sorry. 2000s crappy dance music. Techno, house. God, dude. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Who the fuck wants that in their Juno?
Cloud. But of course, since the Juno X is based on our extremely versatile Zen Core engine, it also includes a huge menu of Zen Core sounds. But of course, if you're more of a sound designer, you can of course create your own sounds really easily with the Juno X because of the very logical panel and signal flow right here. We have our oscillator going into the filter and finally into the amp, and also our triple envelope here. So we're starting with an initialized patch and it sounds like this. Just a raw square wave. Now I'm going to start adjusting this and try to make a quick synth bass sound. Okay, so I'll start adjusting the pulse width.
I can do this on so many Roland reissues. I can do this on the System 8. I can do this on the Jupiter X. I can do this on the Roland Cloud version of this plugin, because that's what it is. So the Juno 106 plugin, the Juno 60 plugin. I can do this on, the Phantom. I can do this on, there's more. The JUO 6A, those stupid boutiques. You know, it wouldn't have been that hard. First of all, I know nothing about designing a synth, so maybe I should just shut the fuck up. But it would not have been that difficult, I think, to do an analog reissue of the Juno 106. And here's why I'm going to say that. Even without knowing shit about designing a keyboard. The Juno 106 and the 60 were DCO-based synths. That means digitally controlled oscillator. Okay? So what that means is an algorithm, software, controls the pitch of the oscillator, making sure that it never goes out of tune. That was the whole point of DCO. That's why DCO was so popular, was because the synth never went out of tune, which is great, right? So then you pair that with the filter of the Juno 60, which I don't think this thing even comes remotely close to, and you have yourself a badass fucking synth. Great bass line, pads, leads, whatever you want, you can create. Now, I don't think it would have been that difficult for them to manufacture DCO chips. I mean, they were doing it for fucking years in the 80s. They did it for so long. Now, the filter, I don't know. That's probably difficult. Maybe that's hard for them. I keep hearing that Roland does not have any staff on hand who can... Sorry, let me adjust my... keep popping. I've heard they don't have any staff on hand that is knowledgeable in engineering analog synths. And to that I say, maybe you should put out, some flyers. You are only like one of the biggest music manufacturers in the world. You don't think you can find some new talent, bring them in, help get something going? Because here's the reason why I say this. Because I understand that they've put a lot of money and R&D into developing their software and their modeling behavior circuitry bullshit, okay? I get that. And it's kind of like sunken cost fallacy, whatever. That they're, this is just what they're doing now. But I don't see any reason to buy this thing when I have 5 different digital versions of it already, right? What the fuck? What is making me want to get this? What sets this apart from any other keyboard that they have released in the last 15 years? Nothing. Nothing. It's just another forgettable MIDI controller with some plugins loaded up inside of it. That's it. And that kind of sucks, Now, again, if it were priced differently, maybe I'd be less harsh. If this were like the System 8, $1,500 to $1,600, I mean, that's a little high. 16's a little high. But if this was like $1,500, I'd go, wow, okay, this actually might be a great alternative for people who want to get the Juno, who want a Juno on stage, right? And do all that bullshit. Okay, but no, it's Roland. They're greedy. They're fucking greedy. No, we're not going to make something affordable. We're going to bump this up to $2,000 because it has XV5080 samples. Who gives a fuck? I'm sorry, man. It's just, it really is annoying. It's annoying that, because I like Roland. I liked Roland. I really did. Honestly, I would say most of my favorite synths are Roland synths. Alpha Juno, that's one of my favorites. Alpha Juno 2. JX3P, one of my favorites. What else did I have back in the day? Oh, God. Actually, okay, I didn't mind the JX8P. It was okay. It's all right. What else? I didn't mind the JV 1080 or whatever. Yeah, so like, oh, and I did have a Juno 106. I had the knockoff version that had speakers called the HS60. That was a great synth. Great synth. And the list goes on, whatever, I liked Roland. I don't like this Roland. I don't like this, we're going to charge you an arm and a leg for a plugin that you already own, but it's got a fancy new case. Don't care.
And then add a little sub bass.
Don't make that face. Don't make that face.
Run it through the filter. Add a little bit of a filter envelope. Maybe some key follow.
That doesn't sound good. I'm sorry. That doesn't. Maybe I'm just being a hater. That could be it. But it doesn't sound good.
And some noise. And now we have a basic synth bass.
Oh, God. I'm so depressed. It's depressing. It's depressing. What else do they have here? Synth bass. Yeah, no, I don't care. Drum sequencing. Let's see this. What live...
And perhaps we want some drums.
What live player... maybe. Wants live drums on stage. Maybe they do. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
To back this up? Well, for that, I'll quickly just jump into our step edit mode, which allows classic TR style step sequencing. And yes, the Juno X also includes a load of vintage...
guys, if you're going to put a screen, just make it a little bigger. If you're going to do the screen, just make it bigger. I will say it's an improvement. The Jupiter X, the screen on that was all the way over here, which was so stupid. So at least they put it in the right spot. But, would it kill you to make it a little bigger?
And perhaps we want some drums to back this up. Well, for that, I'll quickly just jump into our step edit mode, which allows classic TR style step sequencing. And yes, the Juno X also includes a load of vintage Roland drum machine samples. You can record these with a step sequencer or in real time, like this. And there's my drum beat. Now let's play this all back together.
Sounded like shit. Sorry. What sets this apart from every other fucking synth that they have? I don't like. Why does every synth need to be, let's do everything in one? Why? Why? I don't get it. It's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. You have 5 other synths that do the exact same thing, but better than this. The Phantom O. The O series. That's probably way better than this. The Jupiter X can do the exact same thing. Exactly. And the Jupiter X has the Juno engine inside of it. So who the fuck is this for? If it's $2,000, what's the fucking point? There is none. It's stupid. Fuck Roland. I hate them. I really do. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is depressing. I don't even know why I did this tonight. I just felt like ranting, you know. Now we have this guy. His name is Mr. Tuna. He's on, I follow him on Instagram. He's a really talented musician, and I guess he got a deal with Roland. I don't know. So he's very excited about it. Yeah. Pause. Wouldn't this be so exciting if we had never heard this before? That's not, let me rephrase. Wouldn't this be so exciting if this was the first Roland recreation? Roland Juno recreation. Wow. And when he plays those notes, you'd go, wow, that's kind of cool. They brought it back. But no, the keyboard right below him is the same thing. And that's like 2,600, 25, I forget. 2,300. Actually, and that does the same thing too. It rounds off the buttons to make them light up. At least the screen on this is, well, no, there's a screen. Yeah, there's the screen, and it's over there. Jesus Christ.
Hello, my friends. Mr. Tuna here, and this is the Roland Juno X. And the Juno X is a spiritual successor to the original Juno series, the 6 and the 60 and the 106, which it takes its most obvious visual cues from.
See, that's a real look at how much better the 106 looks. And I'm not just being a hipster. I'm really not. Look at this. Look at the panel here. It's got nice colors. It's sharper. There's something to it, man. I don't know. I sound like a hipster. I know. But there's something to it, right?
But despite
and then you got this. Wah, wah. You got the soft version. I'm not talking about software. I'm talking about soft in the trousers. You feel me, bro? You got the build quality, I'm sure, is ass, because all modern synths are, but especially Roland, because they have profit margins to consider. The build quality is cheeks. You can just tell. You can just tell.
Fact that this is a new and very capable synthesizer. You've got 4 patch layers and a rhythm section. At its heart, at its core, it honors the legacy of those original Juno synths.
It would have been so. I keep repeating myself. But it would have been so much better if this had been Roland's first analog recreation. It would have had so much more of an impact. I guarantee you guys, this thing, I don't know. I give it 3 years of people even talking about it. No. People are going to not talk about this thing at all. They're going to make fun of it. They're already making fun of it, dude. Oh my God. On Synth memes, they're already roasting it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Because, you know, I want to buy stuff. You know, I do. I want to be a little shill consumer who just eats everything up about music products. I want to go broke from buying music shit. But when you guys do things like this, it's really annoying. I'll try to be, here's the most positive things I can say. Is yes, they have kept the panel layout. They've kept the panel layout. They've added some things like effects, which I would never use, but anyway. The panel layout's the same. I like that. That's a plus. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. Sorry. So, I mean, I guess there's USB MIDI, which is nice. USB is always nice. I hope there's USB. I think there is. There must be. Other than that, I don't know. Not a lot of things to say. If you're not going to, if you're not going to do an analog reissue, I know they never will. This could have been, again, cheaper, a lot cheaper. But instead, greed. Greed is always the motivator. Jesus Christ. Greed is always the motivator. Oh my God. Not a whole lot more to say. I mean, he just kind of goes over some of the features and stuff. Here's the thing. They made a really smart move with the Phantom. The new Phantom. Have you guys seen this? I will praise. I'm shitting on Roland. Now I will praise Roland. The Phantom O. Zero. I wrote O. It's 06. This thing.
Hey everyone, I'm super excited to share with you guys this unboxing video. I just wanted to share this with.
This is a pared down version of their Phantom keyboard, which costs like $3,000. Let's see. Phantom 6 cost. I want to double check that. 3,000. Oh, that's used. Wait. What's brand new? Phantom 6. $33.99. And they have made a pared down version called the Phantom 06. Phantom O. $14.99. That's great. I super appreciate that. And I might cop one in the future. I actually might.
I haven't opened it yet. It's been really hard getting everything ready and being patient enough to shoot this video because I just wanted to open it straight away when I saw it this morning. And I couldn't believe it. I asked the delivery guy, is this a dream? And he just obviously laughed it off. But anyway, I'm going to unbox this baby. This is the Roland Phantom.
We don't need to watch the unboxing. Does he have chapters here? Because, come on. I never really understood the unboxing thing. Bro. Reinhard Burr. Come on, you're killing me. Okay. Well, just, there we go. Okay.
Capabilities. Guys, I introduce to you the new Roland Phantom O.
Great. Look at that. It's got a fucking touchscreen. It's a big touchscreen, too.
I am beyond excited for this. Whew, look at that. I am going to put the power on. It feels amazing, actually.
Because here's why I'm not hating on this, because this is a workstation keyboard. And workstation keyboards, you know, they're known for being like an all-in-one type thing where you can not just, yeah, you can sequence drums, you got synths, you got pianos and stuff. You can also do like sequencing inside. You don't need a DAW. You don't need software with these. You can compose and create inside the keyboard. That makes sense. It's a workstation. So for some people, this could like change their life. Not to be dramatic, but you know, if you don't make music, or you play piano but you don't know how to make music, like produce, you could produce with this thing. And like I said, the big brother version of this is $3,300, actually $3,400. But this one's $1,499, and I gotta say that's a great price, considering you get more in this than you do in this new Juno. Way more.
This is
Because you can install those same Juno expansions into this. That's what's so stupid about this Juno X, is that why even buy it? What's the upside if I can get the same sounds in this keyboard? The answer is there is no upside. They just want to trick you.
a lightweight version,
They're selling you a zombie.
if I can put it in one sentence, of their flagship model, the Phantom
What is
series.
this over? Sorry, I got distracted. What's this keyboard? Oh,
I
it's a
can put it-
Novation. Yeah, whatever.
Put it in one sentence, of their flagship model, the Phantom series. And man, let me tell you, this thing is it's compact. It's not big. It's got everything you need. Look at that boot up. Look at that. Wow. First booting up. Man, this is amazing. Touch screen. That's responsive. Wow.
Sorry. Yeah, I got COVID.
Oh, these knobs feel amazing as well. Beautiful.
We need to stop doing these. The mod wheels that are like rubber plastic with the light up thing. I'm so sick of that.
The key bed feels great. It feels amazing. Wow.
It probably doesn't feel that good. He's just excited. This is this is cheap.
I am going to put this thing through its paces quickly. I am going to just run the sound into my DAW on the computer. Yo. Ah! Alrighty. First time plugging this in. Just putting it on.
Boy, you need if you're gonna do a review like this, you have to have direct audio.
It's got your sampling pads here. You can
Sampling.
So from the research, what I've done, so you can use this to trigger scenes.
Okay, can you play more, please?
LCD screen here, which is super responsive, and really loving it so far. The size is amazing. This is the 61.
Okay, whatever, we get it. So yeah, basically, Phantom O, way better deal than what you're getting on the Juno X. And well, here's what I'll say. Roland's, for me, I'm just done with them. I'm never gonna buy any of these. You know what I'm gonna buy? Maybe a little synth by by a man named Tom Oberheim. check this shit out. Here we go. Yo. This is a teaser. You know what? Sorry. We're not watching Roland anymore, so I can flip the screen back to what it should be. Here, let's restart this. So this is a teaser for a new synth by Tom Oberheim, because he lost the name Oberheim back in the 90s, and he recently got the name back, and now he can make synths again under that name. That's so hype, and it dude, you already know it's gonna be a fucking banger. You already know this is gonna do monster numbers. Come on. The long-awaited new OBX. You can see the LHC, the keys, the knobs, the gray on the black panel. I don't know much about the OBX actually. Let's see. I know the OBXA. Oh, this one. Yeah. When did this come out? Let's read the wiki article. That's always good entertainment. Watching a man read Wikipedia. Okay. Was the first of Oberheim's OB series polyphonic analog subtractive synth. Okay. 1979 to 81. Okay. This is before the XA, before the OB8. Okay. It was introduced to compete with the sequential circuits Prophet 5, right? Let's look at the polyphony. 4, 6, or 8 voices, monotimbral. Fair enough. 2 VCOs per voice. Analog subtractive. Right. Duh. Filter, 12 dB per octave. 12, not 24. You would have thought it'd be 24. Okay. 2 ADSR, 1 for VCA, 1 for VCA. That's nice. Let's hear some of the OBX. So here's the deal. This is an analog synth from 1979. Okay. You know, Dave Smith, his friend who did sequential circuits, they make analog synths to this day, and they sound fucking incredible. So we're going to listen to this old one. Jesus Christ. Sorry. We're going to listen to this old one, and then think about, we're getting a new version of this soon, within probably the year. Yeah, okay. Now, to be clear, he ran this through reverb. It didn't have reverb back in 79, but still, sounds amazing. You can tell. You hear that filter? That's the real thing. That's ugh. Jesus. I don't even know what I would do with this thing. I mean, you know. That's great. Let's skip ahead. I want to hear some other types of sounds. Okay, another type of sound, please. Yeah, this guy's not a great programmer, I guess, because he's just making the same sound over and over. But regardless. Ooh, that's filthy. Okay, not a good demo. Not a good demo. Can we hear a better one, please? Better demo. The story of the OBX. That's a documentary. Why I love my J3PO. No. Not a lot of people have the OBX either. That's why it's an interesting one to reissue. Here we go. Sonic Projects. What's this? Oh, okay. This is a comparison to a plugin. Oh, are they not going to tell you what's what? Dry demo of the Oberheim OBX. Stereo output of OBX is recorded unprocessed directly to disk using the line inputs of the... Okay. That sounds really good. Really good. Used hardware for the comparison. Anyway, look, I've been going on now for a minute. So I just want to make this video just kind of bitching about Roland, you know, because that's what I do. But the reason why I bring up the OBX is that they're making a reissue of this. Tom Oberheim is, and I think it's going to be amazing, and I think people are going to talk about it for years and years to come. You know, it's going to be a big deal. And this Juno X, nobody's going to give a fuck in 1 year.